we made a total sales of 9,956,000. That is in the month of April. The total sum for the first day and the last day is equal to 9,956. We also see that in the year 2016, August, the month of August, the total sales for the first day and the last day was 30,313. So we have gotten what we wanted. So now let's get to. Hello guys, you're welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be showing you partition by clause in SQL. Partition by, this clause is used to divide the result set into partitions based on the value of one or more columns. So these partitions are then used to perform calculations and aggregation functions, such as running total or using a window function. Example of these window functions are rank function, row number function, sum function, average function. So when partition by is used within overflow function, the result set is divided into partition based on the specific column, and the window function operates independent within each partition, calculating values. We are going to head on to the studio and we'll solve some problems on partition by clause, and we'll get to understand how to use the statements. So let's head on to our studio. Okay, so let's try some questions on partition by. Okay, so we have a question here. Rank the total paper ordered by account. Select the ID, account ID, and total variable from the orders table. Then create a column called total rank that rank this total amount of paper ordered from highest to lowest for each account using a partition. Your final table should have these 4 columns, which is the ID, account ID, the total variable, and the rank, the total rank. Okay, so we're going to create a partition, and then we're going to rank this partition. So we're going to start with select clause. So we select the first column here, which is the ID, and then account ID, and then we're going to select the total paper as the total. We look at your orders table over here, your orders table, and let's look through the column. You can see on the left hand side, we have the ID, and that is what we are listing it out over here. We have the account ID, and we have the total, the column called total. Okay, so the next thing we are going to include is the rank, the total rank. So we start by using a rank function. We want to create a partition by account ID. So each of the account ID will be partitioned, and then it will be given a rank number. So that is what we're going to do now. So we use a rank function, a rank over clause over partition. We're going to partition by account ID, and then once you partition by account ID, we order by. We're going to order it by total. Okay, so from the question here, then create a column called total rank that ranks the total amount of paper ordered from highest to lowest. So we said order by total descending, that is from higher to lowest. So once you're done with that, we call that column total rank. Okay, so you can use as AS total rank, or you just write total rank just after the closing of the bracket. So write total rank, and then from where? From the orders table. So when you just run this query, you should get your answer. Okay, so let's just run it and see what we got. Okay, so you can see that the query executed successfully. We're able to create a column ID, account ID, and the total. Then so this column is the total rank that we created over here. So you can see that each of the account ID is given a rank of, it has partitioned each of the account ID and then give it a rank number 1. So the next account ID, it gives a rank number 2. The next account ID, it gives the rank number 3, and so forth. Okay, and then it orders it by the total. Okay, descending. So they look at the total columns over here. So it starts from the descending down to the lowest value. Okay, so you can see now that 1,410 is greater than 1,405. Okay, so it orders it by the total. Okay, so I guess you understand. So let's just solve a more complex problem and see how we can understand better. Okay, so let's say we have a problem like this. Find the sum of sales for every first days and last days of every month in 2016. So now this question is we are asked to find the sum of sales that the company made in the first day and last day of every month in 2016. So in the year of 2016, the month of January, we are going to write a code that will partition the first day and the last month and give it a rank number and give him a row number rather, and then it will calculate the total sales that was made in this first day and last day of every month. So in the month of January, it will create a row number, and it will create a row number 1 for each of the first day and the last day. It will create a row number 1, and then it will calculate all the row number that he has given 1 and give us the total sales. So this is a code. This is the code that will give us the result that we need. And we first of all start writing the query that will give us this row number. Okay, so we say select year, I'll call that, and then we call it yes. Now we're going to use a date function here called date name. Okay, in the other problem we have been using date part. Okay, that will give us the date number. But this one we're using date name. We want to see the name of that month. So the date name MM, it will bring to us the name of that month, like January. Okay, so if we use that part here, it's going to give us the date number. Okay, so we call that column month. The next column, we call it a month. We want to see the month number. This other column will give us the month name, like January, while this one give us the month number, like 1 for January. Okay, so once you're done, we just call it month number, or we can just say MON underscore NO. Okay, so once you're done with that, we say day. We want to write the column called day. We call it called as, we call it days. Okay. Okay, once you're done with that, now we want to bring a column called total amount USD. You can come over here and see total amount USD. Over here, the column in the order table. So we say total amount USD. So once you're done, now we're going to create a row number for each of the partition by the called as. Okay, so we say row number. Row number is a window function that gives a row number to each partition. So we say row number. We say over partition by. This is how we create partition in SQL. So we say row number window function over partition by. We're going to partition it by the date part function. Date part function for month. So it will create for each of the months. It will create a partition and it will be given a row number for each of the months and year. So we create a partition by month, or called as. So once you're done, you said we're going to order it by the occurred at. We order it by occurred at descending. We call that column row number descending. Okay, so what does this column actually do? So it will create a partition for each last day of every month. Okay, so the last day of every month will be given a row number 1. Okay, so that is what the column will do. So now we'll create a row number for the first day. So we say row number function over partition. So we just copied everything here and paste everything here. Just copy and paste and then make some changes. Okay, so you just come over here. This will be ascending. So every ascending first day it will give a row number 1. So and then once you're done, we say from others. And then we want to know which year. We are going to filter it which year now. Where year occurred as is equal to 2016. We want to see the year 2016. Okay. Okay, so let's see what's going on. It's underlined red. See where we make some error. Okay, so let's put comma here. Okay, so please be careful and make sure that your commas, you put the commas in the right place. Okay, so while listing each column, you have to remember to put comma. Okay, so let's just run it and see how our table looks like. Okay, so you can see our table over here. We have the year column, we have the month column, which is in month name, and we have the month number here over here that we created. We have the days, we have the total amount USD, the total amount of sales made, and we have the row number that is that was being created. Okay, so for the first day, in January, you can see the days in January. The first day in January, you can see you can see in the month number. So the first month is given 1 true. Okay, so you can see that the partition is being created by this month number. So the first month number here, January 1, is given a row number 1. The next the next month number is given the row number 2. The next month number is given a row number. So it creates a partition and gives it a row number for each of those partition of the month number. Okay, you can see over here that we partition it by date per month or quarter and date per year. So we have the year over here 2016, and it creates a partition for each of the month and year. So each of the month, the first month, you can see here this January 1st. So you start counting 1, 2, 3. See where the cursor is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so forth. Okay, so let's just go down and see what we have in January 31st. So you can see January 31st, which is the last day of the month of January. It gives a row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth. The same thing goes on with February. The first day of February, which is February, has the month number 2. So it gives the row number for the first day, the first cell that it made, second, third, fourth, and so forth. You can see it over here. It does the same with the last month of February. So it creates a row number for the first day and last month. So to solve this problem, find the sum of cells for each of these months. So what we are going to do now, we are going to write a query that will sum up the first day and last day of every month, okay, and give us the total amount of cells that they made in the first days and the last day. So you can see in the last day where we have 31st, it's going to sum up the total amount USD for this 31st, and it will do the same thing with the first day of January. Will sum up, like now we will sum up the cell for the first day in January and give us the total cells that you made in January, February, March till December. Okay, so to do that, we're going to use introduce something here called CTE, okay, which is common term expression that will help us to create a subquery. Okay, so we will call everything here. This is a table now, so it will call it T1. So we use with T1 has, so this temporary table is now called T1. Okay, so when we are writing the next query, we are going to reference this table as T1. So with T1 as, once you do that, you put this other table in bracket and you close it, and then the next thing you do, you put a comma. Okay, once you do a comma, then we want to write another code now, and we say T2 as, we want to create a subquery now, another table now. So we say select yes. Now we want to write another subquery that will filter the first year and the last day. Now we want to write a query that will filter only the first day and the last day. We are not interested in the second day and the third day. We are interested in the first days, the total amount USD for the first day and the total amount USD for the last day of every month. So that is what we want to filter out now. Okay, so we say select years, days, months, total amount USD from. Now we want to select the year from here, from this column, and the days, the months, the total amount USD from this table. So we reference this table as T1. So that is why we gave it this name T1, with T1 as this. So the whole of this table is now referenced as T1. So we use from T1, we want to filter this record, which is the years column, the days, the month, and the total amount USD from T1. Okay. So now, where do you want to? We want to filter this information. We are only interested now in we are looking for the first days and the last day. So now we are going to select the years, days, month, total amount for the rows, for only the rows that has the first day and the last day. So if the first day is being given the row number 1, the last day is being given the row number 1. Okay, so we can see from this our result here over here, we can see the first day here. The first day is given a row number 1. Look at it over here where we have row number ascending, and when you scroll down, we have 31st January. Let's just be patient, you will see it. Okay, so when we have 31st, we can see over here 31st January, the last day of that month January is being given the row number 1. So February 2, we can see February here, 1st February is given a row number 1. So we now want to filter. So we say from here, where we're only interested in the first and the last day. So that is what we want to filter out now. We say where row number ascending. Remember that we gave it a name over here, row number descending and row number ascending. Okay, so we say where row number ascending is equal to 1, or row number descending is equal to 1. Once you're done, you close the bracket. So the next one is now, once you're done with that, we want to write down the code, the query that we want to write the query now that will sum up the total amount USD for this first day and last day. So we say select yes, days, month, total amount USD. Now from where? Total amount USD. Okay, so select yes, days, months, and then we want to sum up now. We want to sum up the total amount USD for this first days and last day that we have filtered out here. So we say sum total amount USD, and we just click that, close the bracket, and then we say from which table we right now, from this T2. And then once you're done, we're going to group by. We're going to group by years. You just copy years, and we want to group by years and the month. So years and month. Okay, so let's just see what's wrong with our code. they made a total sales of 9,956,000. That is in the month of April. The total sum for the first day and the last day is equal to 9,956. We also see that in the year 2016, August, the month of August, the total sales for the first day and the last day was 30,313. So we have gotten what we wanted. So now let's get to